I am using a K hook, which is also a 6.5 millimeter hook, and the yarn I am using is a 6 weight, so it's a super bulky. Now the first thing you want to do with this is make sure you have a tail of about 10 inches before you begin, because that 10-inch tail is going to be used to gather the ends here, so you want to make sure you have plenty left. So you're going to just make a small slip knot. And you are going to chain 14. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and now you're going to chain an additional 2, which will be your chain up. 1 and 2. Now we are going to do our first half double crochet into the 4th chain from the hook. So you have 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm not counting the stitch that's on the hook. So you're going to do a half double crochet, you're counting the chain up as 1, so this is the 2nd, and you're going to half double crochet into the remaining stitches. I now have my chain up and 13 additional half crochets. I'm going to chain 2, turn my work, and I am going to half double crochet, not into this first stitch here, but into the next stitch, because that first stitch is part of that chain up. So we're going to do additional 13 half double crochets. So there is row 2, and this next row is where we do something a little different. We're going to chain 2, turn our work, and this time when we do our half double crochet, we are going to be crocheting into the back loop. This is what forms the little ridge of the pumpkin, which you can see right here. So we're going to be half double crocheting through the back loop. So if you're looking at your stitch, it's not through both of them like you have been doing, it is just through this back section right here. And there you can see it again. And we're going to go all the way across. Now you can see that we've completed our 3rd row. We have our ridge, so it's 2 rows and then a ridge. So this next one, we are going to chain 2, turn our work, and we will be going through both loops at the top. And we will be going all the way across again with half double crochets. Okay, I finished that 4th row. I'm going to chain 2, turn my work, and at this point, this next row, I will be once again doing the same as the ridge. So I will be going half double crochet through just the back loop. And this is the pattern that you will have until you have 16 rows. So every other row, once you finish this first ridge, every other row will be through the back loop. and you will complete this until you have a total of 16 rows. So you can pause the video now, and when you have the total of 16 rows, we will start again with how to sew our pumpkin together. You'll now see that I have finished all 16 rows, and I'll just count them. There's 2 for every ridge section. So I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. You'll also notice that I finished up here on the right hand side. So I have a tail, it's still attached over here, and then down here in this left corner is my beginning section. So you want to make sure that both of the tails are going to be across from each other diagonally. Now this one, you are going to cut, instead of about 10 inches, you're going to make it about 15 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that. And I'm going to thread this through my darning needle. I'm going to take this hook out now, and I just give it a couple of twists here and thread my needle through it. Now the first thing I'm going to be doing is gathering along this edge. So I'm going to turn my work, and I'm just going to loosely thread the needle through the stitches along the length. This is going to become the bottom of the pumpkin. I guess you could make these into apples or oranges too. You could do the same thing, just with different colors of yarn. And then you're going to, as you can see, I've got it pulled all the way across the length side, the longest side. And now I'm going to pull this so that it gathers. And I want my ribs to be on the inside of this gather. So I'm going to pull it as tightly as I can because I really don't want much of a hole right here so the stuffing comes out. So once I get that, I just kind of hold it really tight, and now I'm going to run the needle through the connecting side. Pull it tight, and then I run it through one more time, like that. Now I'm going to turn my work so that this is the short end of the rectangle, and this I'm just going to stitch the two sides together. So I'm going to move this up close so you can see it, and I'm just going in and out. You could loop it around, but I'm not going to. It doesn't really need to be. Okay, I'm now up to the top, and this is that second, the beginning tail. So and this is the one that I'm working. So I'm just going to go through and loop it through a few times. And I give it a couple of twists here, put the needle through it, pull it tight, and then I just weave it through a couple of stitches before I clip it so that I don't have a loose end. And then I snip off the excess. And to turn this inside out now so that my ribs are once again showing. And there is our pumpkin. And you're just going to stuff this with fiber fill. You could put potpourri in it, you know, anything like that. And then you are going to use this other tail to gather the stitches like I did on this one. You can see this is not pulled tight, but you're going to do the same thing that you did on the bottom at the top once you get the fiber fill in, and you will have a little pumpkin. And with the one on the top, you are going to want to leave enough room before you pull this tight to stick a cinnamon stick, or if you're using like a regular stick, you could put that down and then pull this tightly and tie it off and weave it in. So I hope you found this fun, and it'll be a fun fall craft. And thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up. See you in the next video.